Hello everyone and welcome to my September book haul. Now this may be the smallest book haul I've ever done, and I'm actually pretty happy about that because I am trying to read the books I own. I know I say that before every single book haul I do, and I am really happy to say that I only acquired 7 books this month. I know I was away for a week of it, but I still have been like in the UK and living my normal routine for 3 weeks out of the 4 weeks of the month. So technically you would think there would be more, but I don't know why. I just haven't really kind of been in the mood to kind of go out and buy books or buy books online or whatever. So I'm going to get right on in to the books that I have acquired. The first one you will have already seen if you've seen my Fairy Loot unboxing, and that is Vassar in the Night by Sarah Porter. I did read the blurb of this book in that video, so if you are more interested in what it's about, I recommend that you watch that. But I will just say that it is set in a fantastical version of Brooklyn, New York, and there is magic involved. There is a witch's curse involved, I think, and it sounds really, really good. I hadn't heard of it before I unboxed it in my Fairy Loot, but I am really excited to get to it. It does kind of remind me a little bit of A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, which I haven't read, but I have heard really good things about it because I know that's set in sort of alternate versions of London. This is set in an alternate version of Brooklyn. So yeah, really excited to be getting to that, hopefully, possibly next month. The next one I have is a book that has been out in hardback for a little while, but I wanted it to come out in paperback, so I ordered it right away, and that was Silence is Goldfish by Annabelle Pitcher. I've read both of her other books, My Sister Lives on the Mantelpiece and Catch Up Clouds, and absolutely love them. I think she is just a really cool British YA contemporary author, and I absolutely adore her writing style. I'm not entirely sure what this one is about, but I just wanted to have it because I knew that I would enjoy it when I got to it. I will read you the blurb so you get a better idea of what it's about. 15-year-old Tess doesn't mean to become mute. At first she's just too shocked to speak. And who wouldn't be? Discovering your whole life has been a lie because your dad isn't your real father is a pretty big deal. When Tess sets out to find the truth of her identity, she uncovers a secret that could ruin multiple lives, but how can she ask for help when she's forgotten how to use her voice? So it's a story about a mute, so that also sounds pretty unique. I've not read a story about a mute before, I don't think, so I'm really, really excited to be getting to this one. The next couple of books were highly anticipated releases for a lot of people this month, so the first one should come as no surprise to a lot of you, and that is of course Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 5th book in the Throne of Glass series. I have read this, and I didn't actually write a review of it, but I will talk about it more in my wrap-up. I did really enjoy it. I did have a few frustrations and niggles and things I wasn't quite happy with, but overall it was still really, really enjoyable read. If you are still waiting for your copy of Empire of Storms, then it is definitely worth the wait because it was still a really enjoyable read, and I am really excited for the last instalment of this series, which I'm guessing will be coming out next year sometime. So yeah, as I said, I will talk about this more in my wrap-up. And the next book is a book that I don't know when I'm going to be reading it because I didn't really enjoy the first one that much, and that is A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir. And the reason I got this basically was because of the beauty that is this book. The first book I have in this American hardback edition as well, and they just look absolutely gorgeous together on my shelf. This is a YA fantasy kind of inspired by ancient Rome, I think. But when I read the first one last year, I wasn't completely taken in by it. I didn't really connect with many of the characters. The plot didn't feel that original to me. But I got this, so I will probably get to it at some point, but it's not really that high up on my TBR. But when I do, I will of course let you know, and I will talk about it in a wrap-up, maybe early next year, possibly. I don't think I'll get to it by the end of this year, but possibly early next year. So yeah. And the next book I got when I went to a signing this month, and that is Tales of the Peculiar by Ransom Riggs. He was in London just for a day this month, and I was really happy to be able to meet him. I got my copies of the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children trilogy signed by him, and one of the rules of the signing, it wasn't a ticketed event, but you needed this book in order to get it signed. This is basically fairy tales about peculiars. So it's taken from the trilogy, but it's not a direct sequel. It's just kind of fairy tales based on peculiars, and it goes into a lot of their folklore and things like that, I think. But I did meet Ransom Riggs, and he was absolutely adorable. I loved him. So that's his signature there to Alex Ransom Riggs. And then I also got the signature of the illustrator of this book, because there are illustrations in it. Let's see if I can find some. There's one there. See, gorgeous illustrations, and it's illustrated by a guy called Millard Nullings. That's him, and he was at the signing as well. And I obviously was talking to them about the film. I asked them if, I asked Ransom if he was happy with what they'd done with the film, because it's not out here yet. It comes out later on this week, and he said that he absolutely adores it. So yeah, because I always ask that whenever I meet an author whose work has been adapted into a film or a TV show, I always ask them what they thought of it, because I'm always interested to know exactly what writers kind of think of their work being adapted for the screen. And when an author is really enthusiastic about their adaptations, I get really enthusiastic, because I know that they're happy with it, and obviously it will be similar to how they saw it themselves. So I am now more excited actually for the Miss Peregrine film. Can I just say, this is an absolute beautiful book as well. So although I wasn't actually planning on buying it just yet before I went to the signing, I'm really happy I did, because it is just gorgeous. So yeah, hopefully I will get to it. I still haven't actually finished Library of Souls though, so I probably should read that before I pick this one up. And the last two books in this book haul I found in a charity shop earlier, late last week, so they are pretty new additions for me. And the first one I found in a charity shop for just 50p is The Slow Regard of Silent Things by Patrick Rothfuss, and I believe this is a little novella that goes alongside the King Killer Chronicles series, which I have the first two books of. I don't think there's another book out of that series yet. I think it is just two books at the moment, but I know it will be more. I haven't read that series yet, because they are huge books. I'm slightly intimidated by them, but I saw this for 50p and I thought I can't really pass that up. So yeah, it's also really cute little hardcover, really gorgeous cover as well. So I'm looking forward to reading the first two books and then finally getting to this one. And the last book I picked up this month was basically just a nostalgic buy, and that is Sophies Adventures by Dick King-Smith. I had this book when I was a kid and I absolutely loved it. Dick King-Smith, if you don't know, wrote The Sheep Pig, which they adapted into the film called Babe, about the talking pig. Really cute film, really cute story, and I was a huge fan of Sophies Adventures when I was a kid, and I saw this for 50p in a charity shop and I just couldn't pass it up. I know when I flick through it, I will be just full of nostalgic, warm fuzziness, and I will just love that. So this has got three Sophie stories in it. It's got Sophie Snail, Sophie's Tom, and Sophie Hits 6. So yeah, this is the exact book in the exact edition that I had as a kid as well. So when I saw it in the charity shop, I was like, okay, I can't not walk away with that. So yeah. And that is it for my September book haul. Can you believe that I've managed to only acquire 7 books this month? I'm pretty shocked / pleased with myself, if I'm going to be totally honest with you. There is a couple of books I am still waiting on. I'm still waiting on Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. That's still not arrived in my life yet, but I'm told it will be on its way in early October. There are a couple of books that I am waiting for coming out in October as well, but obviously I will put those in my October book haul and talk about those next month. What books did you get this month? Please let me know. I will leave all my social media down below as normal. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Bye bye.